around here, Helen?
I think it was maybe upstairs.
Don't think so.
We didn't imagine it all, did we?
No, you certainly didn't.
Absolutely not.
Hey, Philip, it's them.
Over here. Come on, come on. Took your time, didn't you?
Well, we're back now.
And how can we help this week?
The legacy of Greece. What the Greeks left us.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Why?
There's so much I wouldn't know where to begin.
Well, we started in the high street, looking for Greek architecture. There weren't any temples, of course, but we found columns, and there were lots of decorations at the top of the columns. And we also found pediments and statues. So we've looked at buildings. What now?
What about sport? That's part of the legacy. You've heard of the Olympic Games? Well, the first Olympic Games took place in Greece at a place called Olympia. And every 4 years, they had a big sporting event, the Games of Olympia, the Olympic Games. There's not much left now, but this was the tunnel through which the athletes entered the main stadium. And this was the track they ran on. There was no prize money for the winner. They did it for the love of it, and for the glory of winning. A healthy mind in a healthy body. That's the way we Greeks used to look at it. They say that Herakles started the games. Whether that's true or not, they ran for about 1,000 years. 100 years ago, they were revived. And every 4 years, the Olympic flame is lit at Olympia and carried by runners to the country that is host of the Olympics.
So, that's sport. What else is there?
Well, young Philip and Helen. There's names. Philip and Helen. They come from the Greek, did you know that?
And so do loads of the words in your language, especially words like history, philosophy, and theatre, words to do with thinking.
Oh, and democracy, Cleo. Don't forget democracy.
Yes, that's something that the modern Greeks are very proud of, because it was invented in Athens. Nowadays, when Greek children study ancient Greece, one of the things they learn is how the first democracy worked. These children are acting out an old debate. They're doing it in the Agora, where the ancient Athenians used to hold their assembly. And just as in the old days, each speaker is given a wreath to wear before they start speaking. Democracy means power held by the people, and all the important decisions in Athens were voted on by the people after they'd had a debate. Well, that's not quite true. It was just the men who were citizens who were allowed to vote. Women didn't get a look in. Typical. And they also have a time limit. This is a water clock that the Athenians used to use in debates. When they opened a tap, the water would run slowly out, and the speaker could talk for as long as the water was coming out. When the water stopped, the speaker had to stop. Today, the debate is about women's rights. One side thinks women should have more power, and the other side thinks they should have less power.
Επίσης ασχολούνται και με τα οικιακά, δουλειά σημαντική και πολλές φορές αρκετά δύσκολη. Και εδώ τα καταφέρνουν γιατί είναι εργατικές. Δεν νομίζετε ότι με αυτές τις αρετές μπορούν να αφαιρέσουν και το βήμα συμμετέχοντας στα κοινά?
Once all the speakers have finished, it's time to vote. And this is how the ancient Athenians used to vote. There were two sorts of discs. One disc had a hole in it. That meant a no vote. And the other disc had no hole. And that meant a yes vote. The discs were placed in a basket, and the result would be announced when all the votes had been counted.
Architecture, sport, language, democracy.
But aren't you forgetting something?
What?
Stories. Greek myths. Best tales ever told. And that includes...
The labours of Herakles.
Exactly. Hera, goddess of marriage, took revenge on her husband Zeus for deserting her. First, she sent down 2 snakes to poison Zeus's little son, Herakles. But Herakles strangled them. And then, when Herakles grew up, Hera drove him mad. In his madness, Herakles killed his own wife and 6 children.
You must sacrifice yourself, Herakles. You must serve King Eurystheus for 12 long years. Because you slew your family, you must do whatever labor he asks of you.
Well, Herakles, 12 years, is it? Then I must set you labors that are worth your while. Here is the first of them. Not far from here, a little north, a little west, lives the lion of Nemea. I want that lion dead. Bring me his skin. Herakles came face to face with the lion at the entrance to its cave. Its chops were sticky with dark human blood. At once, Herakles notched an eagle-feathered arrow to his bow. He took aim, he loosed it, but the arrow bounced off the lion's thick skin. The lion just frowned and blinked. So, there was nothing for it. Herakles spat on his hands and strode up to the cave. There, he grabbed the lion by its mane, and together they wrestled. The man-god and the king of beasts wrestled and roared. The lion bit off one of Herakles' fingers, and Herakles was so enraged he had even more strength than before. He locked the lion under his right arm and squeezed. He blocked the beast's windpipe. He squeezed until the lion choked to death. Back in Tiryns, King Eurystheus had supposed the lion would eat Herakles for his midday meal. He was shocked and scared when the hero stepped across the red marble floor, wearing the lion's skin. Herakles stood before Eurystheus, running his 4-fingered hand through the beast's shaggy mane. He had killed the lion of Nemea, and the beast's strength was his strength. He would wear it as long as he lived. Eurystheus concealed his anger as best he could. You're strong, Herakles, stronger than I thought. But you won't find your next labor so easy. Go, catch me the golden hind of Cyrenea. Catch that deer alive and bring her back here. And Herakles did not find it so easy. For a whole year he shadowed and stalked the beautiful creature. Sometimes upwind he came close enough to see the sun polish her bronze hooves and gold horns. But she always escaped him. 12 long months passed before he was finally able to catch her and bring her back. So, the second labor is accomplished. But now we have something special for you, Herakles. Have you heard of the Hydra? The water monster with 9 heads and the body of a dog? Your third labor is to kill her. And Eurystheus smiled his cruel smile. For this task, Herakles summoned his loyal nephew, Iolaus. The two of them wheeled south in Herakles' chariot until they came down to the sea at Lerna. And there, under a leafless plane tree, beside a reeking swamp, they found the lair of the water monster. "May Athena protect me," Herakles shouted. And then there was a wonder. Carrying her lance and wearing her goatskin breastplate, the goddess of war and wisdom stood at the hero's side.
Beware, Herakles, beware. The Hydra's smell is so venomous that it destroys all life. You must hold your breath while you fight her.
Hold my breath.
And if you kill her, dip your arrows in her poisonous blood. They will serve you well in time to come.
So Herakles trusted in his strength, and when the Hydra hissed out to meet him, he was ready. Herakles drew in his breath and grabbed and gripped the slippery monster. Again and again he clubbed her 9 heads, but what good was that? Each time Herakles smashed a head, another grew out of the pulp in its place. And all the time, the Hydra was twisting and tightening her slick body around the hero's thighs so he could scarcely move. "Iolaus!" shouted Herakles. "Help me! Fire the tree! Bring me fire!" Then Iolaus tore blazing branches from the plane tree, and when Herakles clubbed the Hydra's heads again and again and again, right down to their roots, Iolaus sealed the wounds with fire so that new heads could not grow in their place. And then at last, the Hydra lay dead. But before returning to Tiryns, Herakles heeded the goddess Athena's advice and dipped his arrows in the Hydra's poisonous blood. He knew that he would need them. He knew that many other perils still lay ahead.